Mr. Ronnie, how are you doing, sir? How are you doing? Are you fine?
I'm okay, and how are you, Papa?
I'm great. May you please tell us who is Ronnie? And please walk us through your background, your cultural upbringing, and the path into the royal advocacy.
My name is Ronnie. The surname is Moroatshehla. It's true, Moroatshehla. Surname, it's one of the sons of the last male king, Mokoko, who was a uterine brother of the first reign queen, Masalanabo, Modjadji Royal Council. Well, be that as it may, already there is a blood relation with the royal house and the royal family. It so happened that having been brought up from my father was the chief of the place called Hakurant, which means the royal upbringing was always in the blood, for that matter. But immediately after 2019, after the death of 2018, the death of my elder brother Aloma, who was serving in the Royal Council, well, it so happened that I was also deployed by the African National Congress in Parliament. And now, those two things, the demise of my elder brother Aloma and my service in Parliament, made His Majesty Bakhoma to say, you need to come closer. Number one, you will be linking us with Parliament, and so that we know what next we need to know in case of any clarity seeking. And secondly, it was the question of replacing in the Royal Council my elder brother who passed on, Aralom. So with time and under his guidance, His Majesty, I was appointed the official spokesperson of the royal family and the Royal Council. And this is the job that I'm doing at the moment. And then, of course, under his supervision as the head of the Modjadji Royal family. When you phoned and said we would love to know much, because we see contradicting information within the many media outlets, media houses. And you said to me, we wanted to know it from the horse mouth, where you come from, you people, from the Modjadji Royal Family, Royal Council, and where you are heading to. I shared it with him, and then we agreed that maybe it is good that we must give you this audience, and knowing very well that in the long run, we will be demystifying a lot of misconceptions which are going on.
True.
With some people referring to us as a clan. It's an insult to us. It's an insult to the royal family. How dare you say to a nation with more than 2.2 million and you go out and say it's a clan? Unless if your dictionary understanding it's not properly crafted, if you do not know what a clan is. But you can't say to a nation bigger than Eswatini, Eswatini is struggling to reach even 2 million people. I think the last time I checked, they were at 1.6, 1.7. The nation equivalent to the entire Lesotho of recently, and the nation equivalent to the whole Botswana, you call it a clan. We felt insulted, and we felt it is the right time that maybe we need to talk to you and tell you who we are and what we are. You say to a nation which has survived more than 425 years, and you call it a clan. It's an insult. If there are any people who might wish to wish us away from the being inexistent, then they must know they've touched the wrong button. We have got our own history, and we are prepared to defend that history for that matter. Maybe I should just pause there after this brief background.
Very powerful. So, I would refer you to my father.
No problem.
Please, Father, forgive me about all I'm about to ask. But what drives your passion and loyalty towards the Royal Council or towards the family?
The royal family.
Yes.
No, you see, it is in the blood, Bob. I have already told you where my family comes from.
Yes.
Something which is in your blood, it is not bought, it's not imposed. Definitely, anyone challenging the royal family challenges me indirectly. As a member of the Royal Council, the Modjadji Royal Council, anybody who challenges the Royal Council challenges me. And anybody who challenges the entire Modjadji Royal nation challenges me. You see, it is in the blood. Something which is in the blood will always leave you with that passion. That's why when I talk on behalf of this royal family, when I talk on behalf of this Royal Council, I don't mince my words.
I understand. His Majesty, Bakhoma. May you please walk us through your journey from upbringing, the cultural side, like all about the royal family until today?
Okay. I'll start by saying I'm the brother to the previous queen, Modjadji. In the family, it was me and her only. We were the only two kids of the Princess Maria Modjadji, who's our mother. We lost our mother when we were young. I think I was 9, and then we got to be raised by our grandmother, teaching us who we are and what we represent. So I learned that from a very young age, and with the elders around, seeing how they conduct themselves and how they conduct the royal issues. So we learned from that. We learned we saw it, and we just lived it actually. We lived the royal family for all our lives. And up to when my sister died and I had to be a regent on behalf of her kids. So I would say on behalf of her kids because Balobedu, ngwana wa khosi, like I said, so we wait for them to grow, and as they grow, we choose when they've grown which one should ascend the throne. So when my sister died, the two kids, the other one was 6 months old, the other one was 8 years old. So we couldn't really specify who should take the mother's throne. So until they've grown and we've seen how they've conducted themselves, including having learned the dynamics of the institution. So it was just unfortunate the other one was never raised at the royal house. She was taken by her biological father, and then we couldn't get hold of her, and we had no choice but to to give the throne to the elder son, who was the firstborn of my sister. So I'll pause there as well.
His Majesty, you spoke about something very powerful, and I would love to ask you, what is different? You spoke about the young children. So I want to ask from the royal family side, how are the children raised and how is different from the ones in the community within the same region? Are there ways that maybe, let's say, the child goes to school? Do you transport the child? Do you, like, you know, those rich people, they make sure that their children are protected at all times. They drive them, they wait at the school until it's knock-off time. They come back home. So I wanna learn about that process.
The process is the child has to be in the royal family with the elders, so that the child must know that the royal family is not just like any other family. It's the ruling family, is the ruling royal family of people of more than 1 million, of a lot of people. Let me put it like that, not putting it in numbers. So we have to tell them how they have to conduct, and we have to teach. They have to learn how to solve problems of our community and how to rule. Ruling, it's not something where you just wake up and start ruling. You'll be told, or when you conduct like this, it means you're conducting yourself as a leader. You're conducting yourself like a leader, and we need to have them grown there at the royal family, because there's a lot of things to be done at the royal house. There's a lot of information that they need to know, and there's a lot of ways that they need to learn on how to conduct themselves within the people where they rule. So that's what is happening in the royal family.
Maybe just to add on what he has just indicated. You see, in their early childhood, they might be seen to be living like ordinary kids, socializing with them. But there comes a time, especially the time when they have reached a particular age, and looking at the person sitting on the throne, maybe the moment or the time of identification coming into the picture. That is the strictest time that they must be, number one, very much closely confined to the royal house and be taught a number of rituals based on the customs and the tradition of our nation. And so that when the right time comes, you see, historically, like he has just indicated, that bana ba kgosi re loba ka moka ka gobane ya dula setulong sa bogosi a tsebe. Historically, what we practiced, if we have got more than one of those kids, we were practicing what we call a heart opening. This is our custom, it's our tradition. What global successful, after they shall have been all been taught about those rituals and traditions, so the age level will tell Oriano he must be strictly in the royal house. Of which, if we were to tell the world, by the time when the two kids could have been walked together, Princess Masalanabo was nowhere in the picture. After having disappeared from, I think, 2008 or so, she only came back in 2015. And then from when she was rescued from Galishiwe in the Northern Cape, outside Kimberley. But the only moment she set her foot at the Royal Crown was in 2018, the day when we were going to Mugwagwaida for celebration of the status Since 2018, she never set her foot in the royal crawl. Now the question is, the brother is the only one at the disposal of the elders and the senior member of the royal family. And there was no way in which we could say we have got a difficult choice. It was a one way to go. It's just unfortunate that politics got in and confused everybody to where we are today.
But as you have indicated, Father, how or why would the family, the royal family, have allowed Queen Masalanabo to leave?
Let's call her Princess Masalanabo.
Or refer
To
to
avoid
Princess.
confusion.
Yes, Princess Masalanabo.
Yeah.
To grow or to be bred outside of the royal family.
You see, His Majesty has already explained. The child was raised by the biological father, and he claimed her. The family was advised, even if you go to any highest court of law, it is going to be difficult for you to claim her back, because the law says the biological father has got the prerogative rights to have the child. And then now he possessed her like a tool until he ran away with her to Northern Cape in Kimberley, in a township outside Kimberley called Khalishe. You see, there was absolutely nothing we could do as a family, because you see, the laws of this country will always side with the biological father, for that man. Something which exactly went wrong according to our culture, because in our own culture, when we were led by females, the biological father is not supposed to be known. It was a saga, and the biological father can not even walk openly with the sitting queen or the queen to be. It never worked like that. But of course, unfortunately, with the late Makubo, Queen Modjadji, the sixth, it was something different, where the biological father could freely walk in the royal house, in the royal crawl. Something which is abominable, I must confess. But however, now that that has happened, that's why the man who fathered Masalanabo had the guts. But more and above all, and apart from that, he also claimed he thought he could be the regent on behalf of Masalanabo. He was contesting His Majesty. He failed. At the level of the provincial office, he failed. They told him, no ways, you are not going to be a qualified person. So we couldn't have Masalanabo in our custody because of that kind of arrangement until he left with her. But around 2014, 2015, a certain Dr. Motshekga went searching for the child. And we thought that was done in good faith. And unfortunately, when he came back with the child or the princess, he requested for a 1-year custodianship, guaranteeing that he's going to protect her. Because by that time, he was the chief whip in parliament and the wife was the minister. He promised that the minister, the wife, the minister of basic education, he promised to take her to school, one of the best schools. It was an agreement of one year. When the 1 year lapsed, and we wanted to request the child to come back home, the war started. And that war, unfortunately, continued until today. We wanted the child to come back home. And what baffled us, it was in the Randburg Magistrate Court when the child was asked to choose between the uncle and going with the uncle and coming back home and staying with the Motshekgas. Princess Masalanabo openly, in that court of law, said, I am choosing to stay with the Motshekgas. So your question will not have an answer, because the answer to your question, it would mean we could have taken her to go and stay with her only by force. Unfortunately, in a democratic state like South Africa, force does not work. Force does not apply. We all walk according to the law. She has chosen the Motshekgas at the expenses of her family. And that is what has brought us to this current fracas. Thank you.
But what cultural, or maybe let me put it like this, in a way, like royal rituals did she miss during her upbringing that disqualified her according to the council?
No, automatically, yes. You see, if you are a royal child, and the time has come, like I indicated before, that there comes a time when we must start preparing. Preparing them for the uptake of the throne. When that time was ripe, that was the time when we requested her to come back home, and she was not available to come back home, meaning there was no time, no moment to take her through the royal rituals, which could qualify her to ascend the throne.
Adding to that, I would say she missed a lot actually, because in the royal family, you also learn how things are run, with who. You don't just run things with your friends or anybody.
No.
We are told we have hierarchy inside the royal family. We know which people should occupy which positions. And now we have Masalanabo working with the so-called Motshekga, calling himself the chief
Royal Council.
Chief Royal Councillor, and which we've never had that in the royal family. So
don't have
which
that
means
position.
I don't know. And the man is also rewriting his own history. He's rewriting a history about our culture and our royal family. So by making the kids grow within the family, it's try to make sure that they live with the laws that were tested by our predecessors. Remember, we are a royal family of more than 400 years. So for the past 400 years, we've been living with the same laws, which made the royal family to be intact. But now what is going to happen? We have people giving themselves positions and doing things that we don't know. Even when our own people have to do initiation schools, they are being stopped. And it's within our culture and the right of our people, including the leader, to make sure that during winter schools, our people send their kids for initiation schools. But now they are being stopped by some people who come up with their laws that if a queen is not installed, it means there won't be any initiation. We don't have such things in our institution. We only know when is the right time to stop the initiation schools, and our people know the times when the initiation schools can be stopped. But now they are surprised with what is happening now.
You see, maybe I should add by indicating that the royal family and the royal council distance themselves from such malpractices and the insinuations as put by His Majesty to say, owner and for that matter, we don't know if there is any person or a coronation which is upcoming. We don't know about that. It is only the royal family and the royal council who will know how the coronation. And even if we know there is coronation, it is not given that during the time of the year of coronation, all this what you see is unheard of. How can an outsider come and dictate terms to such a big nation of more than 2.2 million when he was not brought up in the royal family, when he was not brought up according to the culture. We even doubt if maybe he might be doing all this because he's trying to protect his ego. It leaves us with more questions than answers.
But if Princess Masalanabo would give an opportunity to come back, or have given an opportunity to come back, would you give her a chance to be throned?
No, let us not answer that question. I would, when I respond, say, that would have been the river, and I would still continue to say, it will be the river that we will cross when we reach it. But where we are now, a decision has been made by the royal family because we wouldn't wait. Look, his time as a regent has come and gone because all of them, the two of them, are above 18. And we couldn't be held hostage because of an imposter called Motshekga. We have to move on. The nation is looking deep into our eyes that they want to be led. And we couldn't wait for the day Motshekga and his cronies decide whether they bring Masalanabo back home or not. Because at 18, I think she also could have come to her senses and say, now I'm an adult. And the royal family locks itself, then they come out to the royal council and said, we met as the inner royal family, and this is our decision. And that decision, we would communicate it to the state for the state to recognize an identified person. There are two terms in the act: identification and recognition. It is the duty and responsibility, Baba, of the royal family to identify an heir to the throne. It is only the duty of the president, in case of a king or a queen, to recognize. If it is for a senior traditional leader, after identification by the royal family, the recognition will be by the premier. But in this case, we were shocked. We were bemused. We were flabbergasted. On the 13th of December 2024, when we received a statement that the president has recognized Masalanabo, Princess Masalanabo, as a queen of the Balobedu nation. And our question was, when was she identified by the royal family?
But do you believe her current image is being politically manipulated?
It is very clear, Baba. It is very clear. This is a very clear politically motivated an act.
But don't you think maybe the two, the Princess Masalanabo and the prince, maybe there's a conflict that is maybe brewing or building, while now one is standing there, another one is standing there, and they want the same thing?
Not at all.
They don't want the same thing. It's not them wanting the same thing. It's about the institution. It's about the throne. We have to protect it. We know we've been raised like that. I'm one of the senior royal family members. We know on how to identify who should lead. So we had to go and sit with Lekukela or, hey, Baba, you see, your sister is nowhere to be found. I can't be sitting here for long, because if something happens while I'm sitting here, then this whole thing gets confused. So you should just take over and lead the Balobedu people. And he said, okay, then he has no choice. He will lead the Balobedu people. So Masalanabo knows nothing. I can say that she knows nothing, absolutely nothing about the royal issues of Balobedu. She knows nothing. She's just there as a pawn for someone who's calling himself the senior chief counselor. And that person can't just come because he's not part of us. I'm not related to that man. So he has to find a way, and his way is through that Masalanabo. But we will get to the bottom of it, and I'm sure the royal family and the royal throne will get to the real house.
It's only a question of time.
Yeah, it's just
But
a matter of
maybe
time.
just to add on what he's saying, you see, your question wanted to know that there could have been some misunderstanding between the two siblings.
Yes.
If you had an access to the first day that His Majesty Prince Lekukela Hex Modjadji spoke, more than once when he ascended the podium, responding to the decision by the president, he mentioned it very clear. Ore, I am not at feud with my mother's child. Akilwi le ngwana wa bomme. We are from the same womb. I all I want is ngwana bomme. Boyaye. Re de shirele jelefa. That was the plea that he made. Hence, it cancels everything to say,
But maybe, let's say it's rumored to be that maybe she's scared that maybe when she comes back, she might be scared, or that maybe you want to. I'm just asking. Maybe she's scared that when she comes back, she might get harmed, such things.
Yeah, you see, that's beyond our control, because how she left, actually we should expect something like that. You see, she left with people who had ambitions about the royal family, about the institution, about the throne. The father said, I'll only give you my child only if I become a regent on her behalf. And he said, no, you're not from the royal family. It doesn't work like that here. He also approached the government, the provincial cockster, and he said, he's the father, he must be the one who becomes the regent on behalf of his daughter. And the provincial cockster said, if you have the resolution by the royal family and the resolution by the council and your marriage certificate to show that you were married to the queen, which he never had. And we all know as Balobedu that our queen never gets married. Our queen doesn't get married. So, and he started putting up his own people that, guys, we need to go and take, we don't know why are they after that institution. They said they want to take over the institution, and they should give themselves positions. They must rewrite the history. We see them trying to rewrite the history of Balobedu.
Even the family tree.
Even the family tree. Yeah. We've got a family tree where Motshekga is trying to show how he's related to the Modjadjis. He's not related to us. He knows for a fact, but it's just a matter of time. And I can see he's old, eh? It's just a matter of time that these circuses, they just come to an end. But we're just waiting for Masalanabo. Masalanabo is no longer a child. She's 20. She's turning 21 next year, January. So it's up to her. If she thinks we are her enemies, it's beyond our control, but we're not. And we're waiting for her to come and work with her brother. So, but if she thinks we are her enemies, anybody can think that. I can also think they are my enemies and I leave that place. So it's none of my business. It's not. It's
beyond.
It's none of their business. It's beyond their control as well. So it's up to Masalanabo. If she thinks that about us, there's nothing we can say. We should just carry on and soldier on. We've got her brother, who they share the same blood, who will
take over.
Who will take over his mother's throne. That's it.
You see, my man, the truth is, if people instill fear
in you,
about the third party or another person, that other person has got nothing to do in order to take out that fear. But I often, because I can see where you want to go, I was in one interview, somebody from Rustenburg raised a question and said, maybe the child is afraid that what happened to her mother will also happen to her. It's just an imagination because of the manner in which people might have it. But I ask myself a question. You see, here is the uncle. He brought his nephew in a top-class kind of life. He took him to the best school at elementary stage until he took him, I'm talking about Prince Lekukela, he took him to Terfluop, where he was paying for everything. Prince Lekukela never qualified for any study aid of some kind, bursary, no bursary. He was paying from his pocket for this. Now we are talking about a graduate who has graduated at the level of an LLB. Wow. He's pursuing his own masters now on his own, with the support of the uncle. Knowing very well that if Masalanabo does not ascend, automatically it means the brother will ascend. Why didn't he do what people are imagining on the prince himself? To date, I'm a witness because I'm working with them directly. The sacrifices that he continues to give him, some of which we are not going to disclose to the public, in the name of love. Why was I you? If he really wanted to ascend the throne himself, why is he not eliminating the brother? I go on abana. Are you need? Sikara kutagale anyen. Masalanabo, over Princess Masalanabo, udozwawe le Motshekga ya mukubari jail.
But let's say right now, since the statement they released, let me put it like that. There's a statement from the royal family, right? There's a statement that was released, let me refer it by Princess Masalanabo. Okay. Right? That there's
Motshekga, so that the public must know the truth.
And Motshekga.
Yeah, because all these statements, Motshekga in the name of Masalanabo.
All right.
The public must know that.
No problem. So right now, the statement that was released by Motshekga, it indicates that there will be a coronation, right? I want to ask you right now, what steps or measures are there going to be put in place to prohibit or forbid such coronation? Because I don't know, what if it happens, what's going to happen after that?
Is it possible?
No, enlighten me very.
Okay.
Please,
Let me say this. Kiabogai, maybe I should respond by asking, itabaili date Yabogai. Ye Bumukhalabe Motshekga just chabar coronation. Because last year, if not 2 years back, we already date jail coronation JB. This year, Yabale April. And then now, I think you will allow whether get September or a article.
August.
You see, there are many. So.
They keep on postponing.
Now, what surprises me, Mora, what surprises me, Gary, our people can be so fooled to be told about the coronations, which keep on shifting like a goalpost. It's a moving target and all the like.
Yeah.
But let me get into the crux of the matter. It is, I believe, under normal circumstances, it is only the royal family which can announce the coronation in accordance with our traditional and customary practices. It's only the royal family. So a non-entity and an imposter like Motshekga coming to you are unyogodira coronation. We have got many questions than answers. Okay, in the first place, you dire lo kaintat coronation yela. Grade arbe normal, where the venue of the coronation, because all these coronations since Kesetwani, Kosi Kesetwani, Modjadji wabone, wabrar, Didirechi, Katagoni at the head crown. And since then, we have never announced the shift of the royal palace or somewhere. But in any case, let's wait and see. I don't have an answer to your question, but let me tell you, I pronounce or we have got a coronation, but we got preparations. Then we will rise up and cross that river. Today, we may not tell you what we are going to do.
Yeah,
but I will say, all I can tell you, girl, we are going to cross the river
when we get
we see it flowing.
Yeah. So, but are there any measures that are taken before our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, about the statement that he made?
No, it's clear. We are not going to get into details, but the fact is, we have taken the matter up with our lawyers, and the case is brewing and boiling. I know when you see us quiet as we are, ugitima bambiri. We are challenging the identification and the nomination, ya Masalanabo, which we feel we have been undone.
But what critic or what criteria were used to appoint our prince as a king in 2021?
You mean, are you referring
to Prince Lekukela?
No, it's very simple. Procedure, it's the royal family. When we realize that Masalanabo is a no-go area person because she was under the wings of Motshekga, the royal family met. I think the media, the press media was done on the 17th of May in 2021. After the royal family met, they assembled the Royal Council and said, life is moving, the nation is growing. The family met, and the identification according to the law has been done. This is the man, referring to Prince Lekukela. It was after that we notified all the traditional leaders, more than 132, and also all the senior traditional leaders who are falling under our custody. You talk about Mamaila, we talk about Motshekga, talk about a number of them who supported us when we applied for our status. And it was after that vast explanation to them that we convened a press conference wherein he spoke, handing over power to his nephew, Prince Lekukela. After that, we wrote to all the structures of the government, including writing to the president, because we are dealing with kingship here. We wrote to them It's very unfortunate that at some stage they decided to be mum. They never responded to all our correspondence, despite all the affidavits and covering letters and that we annexures that we sent to them. It moved on from 2021, 2022, keeping on reminding them because we're doing things legally. 2023, and it was in 2024. But at the same time, don't forget that Motshekga stood up and claimed to be the official custodian of Masalanabo. He challenged the nomination of Lekukela. We went to court more than 6 times. In all these instances, Motshekga's version was thrown out of the window. And meaning he was losing. 6 times he was losing. The 7th appearance was on the 28th of September. No. Yeah, was it September? I think it's September, yes. 28th of September. It's October. Last year, the 28th of October. And when we went to court, he said he is withdrawing. Little did we know that the withdrawal was, according to the law, somehow a tactful retreat for him. Because he didn't want to lose it in court. He said he is withdrawing on the case. And when we started preparing papers, writing to the president to say, there is no contest to our initial decision, Lekukela. When we did that, the answer we got on the 13th of December, it was, I think, on Friday, I will not forget that, was the statement from the presidency wherein he was saying he is recognizing, or he has recognized Masalanabo as the queen of the Balobedu nation. No talk, and for that matter, even the person who was for more than 19 years at the helm as the regent, no word to him. He was surprised like any other person. And for your information, because time may not be on our side, it is only now that we realize there is the so-called a certain royal family which wrote to the president and said, please recognize Masalanabo. And in that royal family, 3 people signed, and one of them is Motshekga. All these 3 people, Baba, we don't know them. They are neither in the council nor in the royal family.
They're not even related to themselves. They're not even related themselves.
They are just scattered.
But they call themselves a family.
This is the confusion within which we are operating, Baba.
Now, when you say like that, Father, and His Majesty, I'm remembering something right now. We remember, I think it's last year, we saw Queen Modjadji, the Rain Queen, on Mzansi Magic. So there was controversy around it that maybe it's challenged that it should not air or it should air. So I want to know, was the decision for it to be short and history be told, and some of the parts I heard that they were outlined or cut out to respect what happens in the family. So I want to ask this question. Was there an envelope that got in that made this project to be a success? Because it's rumored to be like that.
No, yeah, I know people confused things. What happened is the service provider, the people were beaming the Rain Queen Modjadji, got permission from us. And the person who wanted to actually tried to interdict the drama show was Motshekga and his cronies. And the interdict was thrown out through the window. So there is not a question of envelope. Actually, you see, that man has been losing. He has been losing. If I were to write down to show you the sequence of how he has been trying to fight and losing, the attempted interdict failed with a first-class distinction. So, but you see, if there is anything we could say, we advise the guy not to beam, it were the things which were having to do with our sacred life in the house, which I said to you when he started. If you go that route, we will tell you the buck stops here.
Yeah.
We won't go in. So, but the show itself, sort of the drama itself, it is. You normally put it on it's a
fiction.
Fiction.
Yeah.
And then it may not represent us 100%, but ideally, part of a lot of things that were shown are part and parcel of our culture. But it's fiction, no 100% reality on a number of things. So there is no question of an envelope. We agreed to him, even before he could beam it live on the television. We went there, and then he took us through. We gave it a tick and said, now you can go on. No envelope here.
Now, there was another Rain Queen that was playing back then on SABC2, which featured the likes of some popular actors and actresses. We know Alfred Magoma from Skimsam,
Okay.
and Celia Kunutu. So there was a Rain Queen back then.
Rain Queen?
Yes.
I don't know it. Are you
No, I know.
Are you
about
referring
it.
to they call it ruled by a queen, something like that?
Yes.
In that movie.
Yes.
It's not the Rain Queen. The name of that series was not the Rain Queen.
It was, I've forgotten the name.
The Throne. It was the Throne. It had nothing to do with us. So even the people who were acting there, even the names, they are not from us. But because it was a queen who was ruling in the throne, it looked like maybe
It's similar.
it's depicting the Modjadji dynasty. No, it had nothing to do with us, and then didn't even ask permission from us.
But according to the music outlets, or not music outlet, news outlets, there were parts within the Mzansi Magic Rain Queen or Queen Modjadji that were taken out. Is it true?
No, not that I know of. Unless if they were editing while they were shooting the movie, not that I know of.
No, maybe the long and short of it is we were never directly involved
in shooting the movie.
In
No.
shooting that. You see, people can bring their own things as if they got our permission or as if they are representing us, but we were never party to it. And sometimes when people do things when they have not consulted you, you can't say you are trying to emulate my culture, you are trying to emulate to stop it. Then no, they've got the right to do some of those things.
Then why was the appointment of Prince Lekukela kept a secret from the public for a very long time?
That's part of our way of doing things. We only announce when we are about to act.
And when we are preparing for coronation. Because you see, we must also protect him. This is another way of protecting an heir to the throne.
But isn't it when the shift from the queen to the king affect the lineage that was coming back then until now?
No, it wouldn't, because remember 200 years when it was unpopular for a woman to lead, but Balobedu stood up and said a woman must lead. And that was unpopular for a woman to lead. And yes, we know during that time there was a split within our people, within the royal family as well. So we are prepared for such things. And we knew that now it's 2020, now it's the 21st century. So It's not, we won't have a huge split within the royal family. We won't have a huge split within the people, the Balobedu people. It's just that it's a change of things, but we're not changing from the original royal family. We'll just be putting the firstborn son, who happened to be a man, not a woman. And in Norway's time, they will be used to it, and they're already used to it. All 99% of our traditional leaders, they say yes, they are ready to be ruled by Lekukela. They even went to protest to the president that, hey, Mr. President, don't change our culture. This is who we want. Lekukela must be our king, not Masalanabo.
Yes, Wanaga, it's true. It's a great decision. It's likely to cause a shake-up of some kind. But don't forget, Kore Bohosi, Modjadji, Bohosi Balobedu is not married to gender. In 1600 years, when the first king ascended the throne, Magapimo, he was succeeded by his son, Koshimuhale, succeeded by his son, Hoshimalaja, and succeeded by his son, Kosipetule, succeeded by his son, Kosikiale, succeeded by his son, Kosimogoto. All 6 male kings on the throne. So it's true, when that change happened for the female to take over, there was a great shake-up when Masalanabo, Modjadji, the first, ascended the throne, followed by Masalanabo, Modjadji the second, followed by Kesetwana, Modjadji the third, followed by Magoma, Modjadji the fourth, followed by Mogobe, Modjadji the fifth, followed by Magobo, Modjadji the sixth. People should not be surprised. Other people would say we only know the Modjadjis to be reigned by the females. They are lying.
They don't know us.
They don't know us. We know ourselves better. So now when we change, what worries the moon? I mean, what worries the dog when the moon shines? You see, it's our culture. We're comfortable when we bring up the change. And the people should not be worried as if they want to dictate to us how to run and rule ourselves. All the traditional leaders, more than 132, are in support of this big decision. It's only outsiders who are coming with their own stories.
Some royal family members, some royal family members were excluded from the decision of appointment of Prince Lekukela. Why is that?
Which royal family side?
There's no such. There's no royal family.
There is no unit that you will find more than what is existing there. Which royal family? You see, we are unlike the Zulus, where they were fighting amongst themselves. The royal family, number one, it's solid. Anybody pulling aside, you must know that person is not one of us. He might be bearing our surname, the same name Modjadji, or the same name God, or the same name.
There was a lady who was given a lot of audience by the media.
Tebo. Yeah.
And
Tebo
at the end, they asked her, when you're saying you are from the royal family, how are you? You see, people think, I don't know. When they say family, it means a group of people who are related by blood. We're not related to Motshekga, we're not related to Tabo. We know ourselves who are related by blood. So the royal family, the Modjadji royal family, related by blood, have met about Lekukela and agreed that Lekukela must just take over.
Ascend to the throne.
Then, do you personally believe a man can spiritually fulfill the role of the reign queen?
What happened during the time of Magapimo?
Mogodo,
Magapimo.
Petro,
What about those?
Malaja. What was happening with those?
Because they are actually the pioneers
Yes.
of rainmaking.
Yeah. But is there any other way you could try? I know, like as you have indicated, there are lawyers that are going back and forth and handling issues. But is there no way that you can sit with Motshekga and sit down in a room whereby you can have a conversation and find a resolution against that, or whatever is going around?
Motshekga,
Who is he?
for us to sit with him?
Give him recognition. That's what?
That's what? He may use his political connections and try to
That's what?
interfere with our issues. We don't care.
The only thing we can do, if you have got influence, is for you to call Masalanabo to come back home.
Yes.
That's all.
If there's anyone who can sit down with,
Yeah,
it's Masalanabo.
And you call Masalanabo and say, the family is yearning for your coming back. Then Masalanabo, as a daughter to the deceased queen, is a member of the royal family. We can sit down. But when she comes back, tell her she should never come marching with Motshekga because he is a non-entity.
Yeah, it's powerful. Balobedu residents are said to be divided. How are you addressing the emotional and cultural pain this causes?
Who told you that they are divided? You see?
Yeah, but I would agree with him. You know, I would agree with him like he. It's the same question he asked before, and we said, you know what, we were ready. If the Balobedu may be divided, we are ready for them to be divided. They've been divided. You see, they've been divided every time a new king or a new person ascends the throne, or a new monarch. Some would say, I don't want to be ruled by him or her. They would pack their things and go and live with other, how can I put them? Other communities,
Yes.
maybe, somewhere who are not Balobedus. So every time there's a new king or queen, there are people who will always say, yes, we were waiting for you to rule us, and there will be some who are saying, we don't want to be ruled by that. So if you say people are divided, no, it's normal. It's normal.
But let me add something. Abepela, you cannot take 1% of a splinter group and call it a division.
Not even 1%.
Yeah.
Bolobedu,
Or a
there's
comma
peace
something
there.
percent, and you call it it's a division.
Yeah.
It's a splinter group which is not comfortable with change. Because change, Baba, is inevitable.
Yeah, true.
Change is hard to swallow. Change is unavoidable. But change at the end of the day is a must.
Then what is it that the council doesn't want the public to know about Princess Masalanabo?
There's nothing that we don't want them to know.
Can you repeat the question? I don't understand.
What is he says?
What is it that the council, the royal family, doesn't want the public to know about Princess Masalanabo?
We've got nothing to
We have
hide.
nothing to hide about.
No, we've got nothing to hide.
Yeah. In fact, we would want the public to know that she knows nothing about the royal family.
Yes.
And the royal
And she
way.
has denounced us.
Yeah.
But has the
And the
royal
public
family...
is aware of that. That Masalanabo or Latuchi. Are Agilitsebe, Kitaba Motshekga, and his family. Unfortunately, Motshekga you, Masalanabo Nyaga Hwalena.
Le rena re mo tsebe.
Are Motshekga. That is where the trouble comes into the picture. And now, Unyaga Hwala Motshekga, whether as the father or whatever, unfortunately, tswalane le Masalanabo, mara Motshekga are Motshekga.
Ebile ha re mo nyake.
Are mo nyaka.
True. So, some say you are preserving your our cultural integrity. Others say you are gatekeeping power. Which one is true?
Emren, ndwaye narelwa ke o shireletša bohosi e lo re o bolelwa ka taba ya gatekeeping re keepela man gatekeeping re idea re keepela motseng.
And remember, as a leader, you must be open for criticism.
Yes.
We must allow people to criticize us. Not everyone will love us.
Wa mbona nna Mogalabi, I'm the spokesperson of the Modjadji Royal family and the council. As a natural, I will not expect everybody to love me.
Yeah, true.
Maybe you and you are one of those who are having a distasteful attitude towards me. I don't know.
No.
No. When I get unlike those Maribijor clan insulting us, you are better off. We can give you another audience. Yeah. When we will be coming from High Court with all the glory, we will call you for another interview.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if this dispute continues unresolved for the next 5 years, what will be left of the Rain Queen's legacy?
We don't think it will go there. We are optimistic. It's a question of time. That because you see, where people are fighting amongst each other, the only mediator who can come in and resolve the dispute is when we go to the courts. Because you see, every time we kept on saying, when we got a platform, we are still open for talks. You see, if the president could have realized that he actually overstepped by way of recognizing Masalanabo without adjudication by the royal family, and he said to the premier, go and correct what might have gone wrong, or try to find out what might have gone wrong. We were always open. I told the premier, we are open for talks, because the very Act number 3 of 2019, Traditional and Khoisan Leadership Act, you know what it says? It says once the president or the premier realizes that there is a dispute on the appointment of a successor or a monarch, there must be what we call an investigative committee, which must visit the royal family to establish the facts. In our case, that was not done. It is not up to us to say to force them to do it, but we are saying we will challenge this until it comes to its logical finality.
To His Majesty, in 5 minutes, or 3 minutes, or 2, I want to ask you this question. To His Majesty, what can you say to your niece? It's a niece, right? I think it's a niece. What can you say to your niece so that she can come back home, so that you can resolve the matter? As you have indicated, you don't want Motshekga involved. What can you say to her?
What I can say to her is that we're not fighting her. I personally tried very hard to try to get her come back home while she was still less than a year old. I just wish she comes back home. I wish she gets sober and know I'm the daughter of Queen Magogo. My brother stays in Kitagoni, which is our head crawl. Let me just go back home. We are ready to receive her. We are ready to stay with her. We're ready to teach her how to run her mother's legacy. So I just wish she could just come back home. I can't force her, unfortunately. I'll just wait for until the time that she comes back. But if she doesn't come back, I understand, because she's now an adult. Yeah.
To my father, Daddy, what can you say? In a brief, I don't know if it's possible, but walk us through the journey, quick, of the royal family. Walk us through the journey, quick.
Baba, Wanak, the royal family is a sacred place. There are things not open to commoners. Regrettably and unfortunately, once commoners start imposing themselves into the matters affecting the royal family, this is what you are going to see. I have been very close ever since being appointed the spokesperson. One of the most difficult jobs. I've served in politics, I've served in the church, politics at the level of labor, and I've been a principal for more than 30 years. I have met challenges, but let me tell you, I have never seen or met challenges like the one we see in the royal family. It is sometimes amazing what people are craving for, because that way, auna chelete kakwa, irikari watu bailwela, auna litenda kakwa. But still, people are craving for power, imposing themselves as chief royal councillors, as if at the end of the day, what law wabona the super persons. We really do not know. We can only anticipate or something very crucial. But unfortunately, he is at a wrong place in the royal family because he doesn't have. I will stop Goma. Disadvantages, thousands and thousands of our young boys and girls go Bolobedu is because he is aloof of the truth and the realities in the royal family. A sacred place, I know Ranwa, Kimanileman, Odo Guapupa, Motshekga, Wanaganauri, you can give direction to the nation. More than 425 years, a nation of more than 2.2 million is something to handle with care. Thank you very much.
To His Majesty, what would you like to say when it's all said and done?
When it's all said and done, I would say, I wish I could just leave because I saw this day coming 20 years ago when my sister died. Or this is where we're heading. And as days went by, I always said, when is the day coming to start this? And it's here. It's here today. So, but I'm just praying, or I just want to see it done and dusted. Yeah, I want to see the royal family running very well.
Thank you. Father, before I shut this whole show down, give us the brief. Is there any initiations that are gonna go forward? Are we stopping them, or they're gonna carry on?
The powers that be have decided to stop the initiations. We made an appeal, the appeal through the Premier's office, because this is a provincial thing. And unfortunately, the Premier kicked it out, supported the decision taken by the PICC. And the PIC supported an infamous correspondence from Norway signed by Motshekga, who has got no office in the on this royal nation. We have convened all stakeholders as a final straw on Thursday at 10 o'clock, the coming Thursday. We are going to report. We do not know what the people will say. We are not here and now going to say it is all over. But the people will speak. Wosi kibatu, matuku kimatakala. We will listen to the people and we will take it from there.
Then, Father, what would you say when it's all said and done?
All we are craving for is peace in the land. Le our forefathers, we will never fold our arms to let it go down the drain. We are peace-loving people. But if it comes to a push, we will rise up with everything at our disposal to defend that region, to defend that kingdom until our last blood. Thank you very much.
Kezo, he says, and this show was brought to you by Lazarus Tema and the Grace Production. But anyway, I was sitting with the royal family. You hear the voice going down. The royal family. And I was having a conversation, a very powerful conversation with my father, you know, my dad. Anyway, Mr. Ronnie Moroatshehla. Mr. Ronnie Moroatshehla, the spokesperson for the royal family, and His Majesty, Bakhoma. Kezo.
Mzala.